The DSM series single shaft crusher is widely used for crushing thick materials, such as heavy wood, large pieces of plastic, rubber, thick and hard paper, as well as solid materials such as electrical components and cables, and it also crushes domestic waste, RDF, industrial waste and other materials. The crushing force single shaft crusher can be equipped with screens and knife particles with different apertures. Through effective rotor positioning and cutting, it can achieve the effect of fine crushing of materials. It can also maintain good stability and reliability in complex industrial waste crushing environments. Degree. Shearing principle. The cutting part of the single shaft crusher is composed of knife roller, knife pellet, fixed knife and screen. The minimum installation gap between the knife pellet and the fixed knife is 0.1 毫米. The motor drives the knife roller to rotate at a high speed through the reducer, so that the knife particles mounted on the knife roller and the fixed knife form a cut. After one cut, if the size of the material is smaller than the aperture of the screen, the material will be discharged from the mesh. Otherwise, the material carry out 2 or more cuttings in the toolbox until it reaches the discharge size. DTS 303 Double Shaft Crusher. The crushing force environmental protection double shaft crusher reduces the size of the material through shearing, tearing and squeezing. It has the characteristics of strong structure and high cutting efficiency. The dual shaft crusher has a wide range of applications, suitable for domestic garbage crushing, industrial garbage crushing, organic garbage crushing, medical garbage crushing, RDF crushing, plastic crushing, hazardous waste crushing, multi-garbage crushing, paper mill rope crushing, waste metal crushing, etc. Also includes relatively mixed materials, including metals, stones, etc. Domestic waste, urban waste, sanitation waste, community waste, etc. Paper mill waste, paper mill plastic, plastic film, paper mill rope, paper mill waste, waste light residue, etc. Biomass wooden pallets, farm stocks, corn stalks, Chinese herbal medicines, etc. Organic waste, vegetable market waste, fruit and vegetable waste, vegetable leaf and vegetable residue, kitchen waste, bulky waste, large sofa furniture, used refrigerators, etc. Industrial waste, factory waste, paint buckets, tin buckets, thinner buckets. Electronic waste, used hard drives, printers, U-disk storage, computer screens, mobile phones, etc. Medical waste, disposable medical supplies, small medical equipment, syringe infusion tube, expired drugs, etc. Leftovers 1 waste, shoes, fabrics, clothes, leather leftovers, shoe factory leftovers, plastics, all kinds of hard and soft plastics, including molded products, plastic containers, rubber sheets, rubber head materials, etc. The 4-shaft crusher has 4 sets of cutter shafts. The upper 2 sets of cutter shafts mainly play the role of grabbing and guiding materials, and the lower 2 sets of cutter shafts mainly play the role of crushing. The cutter shaft is driven by a motor and a reducer, and the low-speed output high torque. The steel pipe straightening machine is a maintenance machine for building steel pipe, scaffolding steel pipes. It is mainly used to straighten scaffold steel pipes and other pipes that are bent and deformed during construction. There is no indentation or shrinkage on the surface of the straightened steel pipe, according to the standards set by the Ministry of Construction. The equipment also has the function of cleaning the ash and rust on the surface of the steel pipe and painting. Solve the problems of steel pipes that have been exposed to the sun and rain for a long time, rusty and corroded, and the pipe walls become thinner. ANDEASYTOBENDCONSTRUCTION, disassembly and transportation, and cannot be used. resulting in the safety of scaffolding steel pipe erection. Waste steel bar cutting machine. Waste steel pipe angle iron channel steel cutting machine is started by a motor and driven by a triangle belt to rotate the reducer. And then the reducer runs through the sprocket gearbox to make the cutter continue to work to achieve cut the roll of steel bars, steel pipes, angle irons, channel steel and other materials. The cutting machine for steel and steel pipes is suitable for the processing of the charge before the steel making furnace, and the cutting of ordinary carbon steel, hot rolled round steel, and rebar and various reinforced concrete in construction projects. It can also cut angle steel and groove steel, etc. The multifunctional one-piece cutting machine for steel and steel pipes is a wide-used and ideal steel cutting equipment. The characteristics of the round tube to oval tube forming machine, the tight and flexible connection of the keel not only makes the operation simple and easy, but also has a stable structure. The freely retractable keel allows you to adapt to any size at will. The ingenious connection between the column and the keel is not only simple but also stronger. The light weight of the tie rod not only saves materials, but also is more flexible and firm. And the flexibility of the fasteners is outstanding. Angle iron forming machine. Angle iron is mainly used to make frame structures, such as high voltage power transmission towers, frames on both sides of the main beam of steel structure bridges, columns and booms of power cranes on construction sites, and columns and beams of workshops. Small places such as flower pot-shaped shelves on the side of the road during festivals, and air conditioning solar-powered shelves under the windows. The steel pipe straightening machine is a maintenance machine for building steel pipe scaffolding steel pipes. It is mainly used to straighten scaffold steel pipes and other pipes that are bent and deformed during construction. There is no indentation or shrinkage on the surface of the straightened steel pipe. According to the standards set by the Ministry of Construction, the equipment also has the function of cleaning the ash and rust on the surface of the steel pipe and painting. Solve the problems of steel pipes that have been exposed to the sun and rain for a long time, rusty and corroded. And the pipe walls become thinner, and are easy to bend during construction, disassembly and transportation, and cannot be used, resulting in the safety of scaffolding steel pipe erection. Waste steel bar cutting machine. Waste steel pipe angle iron channel steel cutting machine is started by a motor and driven by a triangle belt to rotate the reducer. And then the reducer runs through the sprocket gearbox to make the cutter continue to work to achieve